Good morning. It is 6:38. I'm getting ready to head out. Let me cross this river first, or stream. Okay, I'm back. So quite a bit different morning. It's overcast, it's cool, a little bit of rain. I've got 3 layers on right now. I'll probably take one off in about 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm encouraged by that. Last night you couldn't even see that. I thought, man, finding the poles might be a little bit difficult, but it's clearing up. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I gotta avoid a marsh here, and then we'll continue on. There's the first part done, getting back to this sign. So it says the trig is 1 hour and 30 minutes from here. So just the way I'm feeling, I'm giving myself about 2.5 hours to do it. No hurry. The Maku saddle hut is 3 hours and 30, so we'll see what happens. It really is beautiful in here. So what's the plan? Well, all going well, I should be at Maku saddle hut by 12:30, and that car park gets used a little bit now. It's not the nicest of days. It's a Saturday, so maybe there'll be somebody there getting ready to go out, but if not, it's only a 7-kilometer road walk down to the main road, where then I'll try and hitch a ride, get as close to Hastings as I can get. Then I'll call my wife and have her come get me. So I was sharing the hut with 2 people last night, and the girl asked me, she says, "Have you ever hitchhiked before?" And I thought, I really haven't. So she said, "Ooh, a new adventure." I said, "Yep, that's what this whole thing's been about. New adventures." So anyways, that's the plan. And here we go. The tree section done. Now we got the exposed rock face up to Kaweka J. That's section 3 that needs to get done. Now, it's starting to get a little cloudy up here now. A bit breezy too. No rain though, that's good. It's gotten cold too. I'm correct. That's the final push. Oh. Almost. And I think I reached the top, or super close to it. Although I certainly can't see anything. I was hoping to be here by 9:30. It's 8:30. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So here I am. Warmer up here. All right, so that's section number 3 done. Oh man, that feels good to have that finished. Now section number 4 is to get down off of this. And yeah, the way the wind was blowing coming up, I'm a little concerned that we might have that same kind of wind that we had last time going down. We'll see. The sign says Wahoo Saddle Car Park, 1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour, yeah, 30 minutes. We'll see. I'm expecting about 2. It's beautiful looking. There it is. First sighting of the car park. Where the next adventure begins. There's a little bit of wind pickup now, but certainly not at all what it was before. And we'll see what happens when I get down closer to it. I can see the hut. Couple cars in the car park, but yeah, here we go. I'm in Wahoo Saddle Hut. Took me right at 4 hours to get here from Back Ridge Hut. Pretty decent weather once you came down the other side. Still kind of cool. It still hasn't rained, but yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, probably about 20 minutes or so, and then start walking out to the road. And that begins the 6th section of today, and that'll be the most interesting because it's something I've never done. Everything else I've done today, I've already done. But the hitchhiking will be my first. Still no self-service, but we'll just do with what we got. Okay, first hitch done. That saved me 12 kilometers. Yeah, I was thinking it was only gonna be about 7, but about 12. So now I'm walking up this road, and we'll wait and see what I get next. This is a nice road, but I'm a little concerned that the hot pools are closed, so that means not a lot of traffic. But we'll see what happens. This so reminds me of doing the Camino. So reminds me of that. Well, I just got my second hitch from a wonderful man that lives in that area. Really nice guy. So we'll keep walking. I'm enjoying this. This is kind of fun. Meeting some really neat people. All right, that was nice. They stopped to see. I had my thumb out and they stopped to see. But they're heading up to Taupo, which is the opposite direction of where I'm going. That's all right. Looks like some sheep shearing going on in there. Oh, look at this big boy. Hello, big boy. Hello, big boy. And here I am. I made it home. A lovely lady picked me up way out there and offered to drive me right back to the house. Amazing. Great experience. I think I may give up backpacking and just start hitchhiking. But yeah, so I'm home. Get to surprise my wife a day early. Hope it's a pleasant surprise. Hey, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you the next time I'm out here trying to do something. I'm not sure what I'm trying to do, but I'll see you next time. Well, here I am at home after a much needed shower and a little bit of rest. I thought I'd take a little bit of time to do some reflecting, the highs and the lows, and especially the lessons I learned on this trip. What were the highs? Well, I gotta say, first of all, the river crossings on the first day, that was so much fun. As I've said before, water and I don't have a real good history, but that was a real good confidence booster for that day, and just navigating down that river, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Another high was actually making the choice to bail on the hike. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but just being able to have that choice and make that choice, knowing what was best for me in that situation, that was a high. I typically don't make decisions like that, so that was a good thing for me. Navigating up to Kaweka J on a pretty cloudy day, when you're navigating through the poles, sometimes it's hard to see the poles from one to the next on a cloudy day like that. But you know, yesterday my confidence was really shattered when I had to bail. And today was more of a confidence building day as I navigated by myself up and over Kaweka J to get back home. And then certainly the big high was hitchhiking. I had 3 people pick me up, and fantastic people. What a great experience that was. It was a great way to end what could have been considered more of a disastrous trip. But I really enjoyed that. Hitchhiking in New Zealand is a great experience. What were the lows? Well, dehydration. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, I sweat profusely anyways, always have. But, you know, those first 2 days, it was 20 degrees Celsius. It was a cloudless day, so the sun was beating down on me. Hawke's Bay sun is no joke. And I really, once I get dehydrated, I really have to work hard to catch up. And there was no catching up on those first 2 days. So that was a pretty big low. It set me up for having to bail, frankly. Another low was actually the high point, the Kaweka climbs. Man, climbing the Kawekas is no joke. There's some steep, long climbs that just took a long time to do, and so that was definitely a low. And then, even though it was a high, the bailout was still a low. I really did struggle with that for about 2 hours before I made that decision. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. There's a statement that says, never quit on an uphill or a bad day. And I was having a bad day and I was going uphill, but I didn't quit. And that's the one thing I had to keep reminding myself. This wasn't quitting. This was me just deciding that my body had had enough and I needed to make a wise decision. And I do, look, I hated having to say to Dave that I've got to quit on this trip. And, you know, he was really gracious in accepting that, and I really appreciate that. I hated leaving him alone, and I gotta say, I felt a little bit ashamed having to walk out on the trip, but looking on it now, I realized that I did make the wise decision. Yeah, that shame thing is just, that's that old me saying, hey, you gotta finish the job, and I did. I finished the job. I just finished it a little differently than I anticipated. What were the lessons I learned? Well, obviously the big thing is hydration. I have just got to really work on my hydration. That first day, I probably only had about 3 to 4 liters of water, and that's about half of actually what I needed on that day. So that's a big thing. I'll still keep working on it. It's not the first time I've been dehydrated on a hike, but I've got to figure that one out. The second lesson was just to be careful on planning. I think that we actually anticipated that we'd be able to go faster and further than what the Kawekas were ever going to let us. You know, Dave joked with me about that he broke me, and he didn't, and he's not that kind of a guy. It was actually the heat and the Kaweka Mountains that broke me. And so just, I think, more careful planning next time will keep me from having that experience. The third lesson was, you know, when I was just kind of thinking about how am I going to get home? I had no cell service out there in the mountains. I had no way of contacting my wife and letting her know. We had a pickup plan at the end of the hike as we had planned it, but I was coming out a different time, a different day, a different place. I had no way of contacting anybody. So what I did is, as of today, I've ordered a Garmin InReach Mini. Something I've been looking at getting for a while, but this trip taught me that, you know, you really need to be able to have some way of communicating. I always carry a PLB with me, but that's just like an SOS that lets them know I'm in trouble. Please come and get me. But an InReach will allow me to be able to communicate and let people know exactly what's happening with me. So that's a big lesson. And then that idea of, you know, never quitting on an uphill or a bad day. I still have to wrestle with that a little bit. But, you know, the reality is that you have to know your level, your abilities. And I came to that place where I realized that if I turned left at that intersection and went back down to the river, I don't know that I'd have been able to come back up. I was that exhausted. I was that dry. And the last thing you want to do is have to call for a rescue helicopter just because you're tired, right? So, you know, it wasn't quitting. It was making a wise decision that would allow me to come out here and do this again. And I will. I mean, I've got another couple hikes planned in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be out there much wiser and enjoying it. This didn't at all set me away from wanting to hike anymore. It just made me want to be a little bit better prepared, a little wiser with my drinking and nutrition, and just really enjoying what's out there to offer. So again, I just want to thank you again for taking the time to watch these videos and come with me on these journeys. Hopefully you learned something as well through this, and we will catch you next time.